look at the emotion from Fofana and Enzo. Trophies are not guaranteed in football.
We've just lost the ability as a big club to go and compete. This is not a rivalry no more.
I think we're going to win it. So Premier League Cup double,
Okay.
minimum, in my opinion. And we're back. Obviously, Arsenal are through to the final. I've got one of the best Chelsea fans about in Sean. Let's talk about the game. Sean, talk to me, my boy, man. Liam Reznor, all of that stuff, man. What happened?
Um, I just think it's the start of his tenure in it, but I just feel like as if it's still a bit cowardice, to be honest. I feel like I went to the game last night. I literally had an option to not go or not. Like my brother literally said, I got the spare ticket. I was like, I don't really want to go, to be honest. It's just wasting time. But it's like I'm not happy with the club as it is at the moment, and I just went there for the game. Do you know what I mean? I'm supposed to be wanting to go to the game and being happy that we're in a semi-final second leg and we're still within the tie. But this manager went out there, and even in his press conference after the game, when he said, "Oh, when I used to be a pundit, if you stay in the game long enough and it works, you're a genius. If not, you look like a coward." But it's just like that's what it is. It's literally is what it is. Like you were a coward last night. You went there with a weakened Arsenal side that was put out there, and you didn't attack the game until the dying minutes of the game. So for me,
Mm.
it was a poor performance, knowing that Arsenal actually allowed us to actually give them a go at their own home ground, because we were expecting to go. They're probably thinking, well, they're probably going to dominate us more than what they did in the first leg, but they actually allowed us and gave us the chances to actually attack them, and we just didn't want to attack the whole game. We just wanted to be in it, like a small club mentality. So for me, it was poor. Like that means you don't believe in your players to be able to go out there and compete for 90 minutes. So for me, it was cowardice.
Sean, let me ask you that, yeah, because I don't make you wrong, but I do feel there's an element of where Liam Reznor is concerned of, like, he's damned if he do, damned if he doesn't.
Mhm.
Obviously, I look at it from an Arsenal perspective. We're not necessarily happy with the way we're playing and all of that kind of stuff, which we saw yesterday. But isolated to yesterday, obviously it's the semi-finals. We're in the driving seat. The onus is on you, as you rightly said, to come forward. So I'll give my team a bit of a luxury. But don't you think he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't? Because if you came out gun-ho, we don't really play against sides that, give us a lot of space. So if he came out gun-ho, don't you think that's playing into our hands? I make you right in that it was cowardice and stuff, but I actually think, yeah, he set up quite well. He tried to stop us getting the ball in midfield. Clearly your game plan was, you know what, if it was a boxing match, we're going to throw some kind of jabs. When there's a chance to land a knockout blow, maybe in the second half, we'll go for that. And you saw with the subs, like, don't you feel his initial approach was good? And it's probably in the second half where he needs to kind of, let his nuts hang, if I'm completely honest with you, and go for it. You're kind of in that regards.
Not really. It's just how many, like, we've come from years of watching football where teams get back into second
Mm.
legs where they get into it early. So the fact
It
of
is only one goal deficit
yeah,
as
it's
well.
a one goal deficit, but it's still like we have to win by 2 goals to actually qualify. So it's not like as if like obviously we could take it to penalties or something like that by 1 goal, but it's just for me, like I said, you said like you sit back and you wait for your chances, but we played a back five against a team not willing to want to come out and really fully attack us. Like you look at the
Yeah, you're playing
statistics,
into our
you look
hands.
at the chances. We're just playing into your hands. We're just keeping possession of the ball comfortable. And for me, it was just not good enough. Like we had one shot on target, which was Enzo and his that tame attempt until it was like the 90th minute when Achiampong had a header and he only came on in the 90th minute. So it's like it just shows you the amount of chances that we tried to actually take advantage of or tried to create with the team we put out there. And I feel like the team he put out there, that's the first time you've seen Liam Rossini play with a back five. Like, are you scared? Like, why is it
Mm.
always these managers, these new managers that have come under
Really?
Blueco? Like all the managers that have come under Blueco have literally been scared when they play the big sides. They fear it. That they go to play midfield freeze. They put Palmer back out onto the right hand side. Like when throughout the whole season they're playing Cole Palmer in the 10 and they want to be more attacking, but you don't have the belief in your own team to go out there with a back four and go and compete early and take chances. You don't have to be super defensive and stay in a game when you're Chelsea. Chelsea's a big club. You're supposed to be
These
big
streets,
club
man.
mentality. And Jose Mourinho said it perfectly right when he was a manager. When you start praising performances as a big club, when you've lost the game, you've stopped becoming a big club. And the results against Arsenal, specifically in Arteta's reign, is now 16 games, 10 wins for Arteta, 4 draws and 2 losses. Like we've beaten them 2 times in the last 16 against under Arteta. And people look at Arteta in this fan base and just in general, they look at him as a failure in terms of how long it's taken him to actually try and win something. When really and truthfully, if you are just being honest, he's built this club up to where it is now. Arsenal, right, they've bottled 1 league title. Other than that, they've just been strengthening year by year. So we've just lost the ability as a big club to go and compete. This is not a rivalry no more. Like when you've lost 10 out of
Mm.
16 times to your London rivals, this ain't a rivalry. We're singing about the trophies that we used to win. We're not in that position right now to win the trophies anymore. Like our club is built around buying young and selling and hoping that someone is good enough. Like it's just not good enough. The players that we buy are not good
So,
enough.
sorry to cut you there, Sean. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
go
I
on.
because I like that, and I just want to ask you on that, like, because you mentioned it, yeah, about the direction and blue coal and all of those kind of things. Like, where do you see the overall direction? Because as an outsider looking in, I don't know when it will happen, but I just think you lot, obviously Chelsea are a big club. You've
Hmm.
spent so much money for it, in my opinion, not to eventually work. But then I look at it, you spent a lot of money, and I don't see how much bang for the buck, if that makes sense. So, like, where do you see the overall direction? Because Liam Razano, I actually think he's a decent coach, but I just think he's in that role because he kind of sings from the same hymn sheet of those above. So, like, where do you see the direction? Where do you see your club going? Is it just a money making thing? Like, talk to me.
Yeah, it's just the thing. I don't even feel like it's a money making thing because the players that we've bought and the players over the past 3 years that we have brought in and ended up putting out on loan that haven't impressed for where they're flipping for crazy profit. Like it's not like as if we haven't spent money
Mm.
on the first team squad. We've spent a lot of money on this first team squad. So where is the results from the team that is put out as a strong 11 week to week? And that's what I mean. It's like the golf is like you could compare the Arsenal team, and this is where people like Chelsea fans try to be a bit disingenuous, and they're like, "Oh, let's do combined 11s and stuff like that." And like I've done a little combined 11 yesterday, and I was like, "Well, maybe 5 of our players do get into a combined 11 with Arsenal, but the gulf in the standards between the players that Arsenal have in that combined 11 and our combined 11." Is astronomical. Like Gabriel and Saliba are so far clear of any combination of our back two. Your goalkeeper is clear of
Mm.
our goalkeeper. I know people like to start saying Sanchez has all of a sudden become world class nowadays, but he's still crap. He's still a bozo. So it's like Declan Rice gets into your team and he's far clear of the other centre midfielder that we have. Obviously, Caicedo's good, but in terms of the partner, he's crap. And then our front three is as pony as yours lot. Like you lot are
Mm.
Arsenal fans are saying we don't have much in attack. We're lacking that attack, and that's why again is why I was frustrated last night. If you're so angry, like how can you be afraid of the Arsenal team when Arsenal fans themselves don't feel like they're strong enough in the attack? There's not many goals coming from the Arsenal attack. So
That's
for
the
me,
one
it's
place
just
we're angry about.
it's the
Yeah.
one place you're angry about, and we're so weak there as well. So like the money we've spent, where has that money gone? Like Liam Delap is an awful player. The team that they put out last night,
Mm.
he changed up the whole system. Liam Delap's playing right wing, centre forward, and Enzo's playing left wing, left inside midfielder and stuff like that.
I
And it's
thought
just
João
like,
Pedro had a decent game, but he's isolated, man.
what are you asking from him? Like you're asking him for like we have zero pace in our team. Like nobody can run past an
Mm.
Arsenal player, and that's the difficulty in our team. It's like when we're up against the better sides, the fitness level and the physicality of our players are not able to run in beyond. So like Enzo, when he got into freedom in certain areas, he can't run past certain players. João Pedro, he
Mm.
turns into space. He's got no one around him to play off of because
No
we're
one to
defending against
support.
yeah, because we're defending against Arsenal. Like I'm tired of watching these type of performances against big clubs where you've spent that amount of money. Like we've spent more money in England than any other club. How can you be thinking about top four and top five? This is embarrassing. Like, and people need to wake up. So me, I've been consistently on producing content and whatever I'm on about blue coat out, egg barley out. So this whole blue coat out is under Strasbourg. Strasbourg want them out. Strasbourg don't even want them there.
Mm. They keep
Like,
poaching their players.
but if you see the protests that Strasbourg do, they're on Blueco out because they're not happy with the way their club's being run as being a feeder club from us, where we're just bringing in players and whoever we don't think is good enough, we'll send them to Strasbourg. Hopefully they'll perform in the French league and then we might be able to move them on. But then we're not making them like they literally want to make a profit from those kind of things. But the players that they're bringing in are just not good
Mm.
enough. So yeah, Guna. So now that you're in the cup final, where do you see Arsenal now for this season, and what does it mean? Do you think to Arsenal fans to be in this cup final? Because obviously you haven't collected the trophy over the past couple of years, and this is your year now, where it looks like as if you're now firing on all fronts, top of the Champions League, top of the league, in a cup final, in the League Cup, and still in the FA Cup. So, what does it mean to get to this final, and what's it looking like for the rest of the season for Arsenal in the tournaments that they're in?
I mean, Sean, it's a difficult one because obviously, as much as I like the banter of getting to the final and slagging off my Chelsea supporting friends, if you get to the final, you got to go and get the job done, in it. Like it's almost a microcosm of what our season's been, in which we get so close, but we don't ultimately get over the line. So I'm relishing it. Like obviously, you can't rule out Newcastle at this moment in time. Between them and City, whoever we play, we've got to play. For me personally, I think with football fans, we look down on competitions. For players, that you look at the emotion for Fufana and Enzo. Trophies are not guaranteed in football. The amount of active footballers and the amount of active footballers that participate in whatever competition that win it is quite small. For Arsenal, obviously, we're a good team. Arteta gets his plaudits. We've had some good nights out, good top six records, good statistics, but that all shows that we're a good side. For me, Sean, it's about now becoming a great side, and great sides make history. You look at during this Emirates era in the last 3 years, or you could focus on now, you look at some of these individual players, some of these collective players, they're some of the best we've ever had, but they're not going down in history. Obviously, Rob Holding is not a better centre-back than Gabriel or Saliba, but the minute I say Rob Holding, you do think to that FA Cup final against you, man, because he's put himself in folklore. So that's kind of where I'm at. Obviously, I'm looking at fine margins because this could give us a boost. Assuming we go and win it, this could give us a boost in the league. This could obviously like whet the appetite for our players as well. In that, this is what it's like to win a League Cup. This is what it's like to be out at Wembley. Imagine what it's like to win a Champions League and FA Cup, or actually see the Prem job through. So for me, I'm with that. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I want the Prem because we ain't won the Prem in the Emirates era. I haven't seen my team win the Champions League. So I wouldn't say the League Cup is like the be-all and end-all, but it weren't necessarily you or anyone saying this. A lot of people said a trophy's a trophy when Newcastle and Palace and all of them lot down the road won the title. So I would say I wouldn't say it takes pressure off Arteta, but it kind of takes some pressure off Arteta. For the collective bunch, it kind of takes the monkey off their back because you have got a bit of silverware. You can kind of calm down now type of thing. And it gives us a bit of a boost. I don't think it's relevant beyond what I've said. Sound like a hypocrite. I don't think it's relevant to the league because today it's irrelevant now. You're in the final. We'll deal with that in March. Now you need to go through in the Prem. And obviously, when we lost to Man United, it was all crisis. A week or two removed from that, we're top of the table. As you know yourself, when you're top of the table, the only way is down. So we have to maintain. In relation to our general trophy title hopes, I think I will bite your arm off for one bit of silverware because that's how much we're crying for. I don't see why we can't win two bits of silverware. Like, I don't see why you can't win the League Cup and the Premier League. If you were to offer me any of these trophies, Sean, I'm saying Champions League without any context. I know we had a great day out against Real Madrid. We've competed in the league phase. Our record has been perfect. But as you know, the dynamics change once you get to the knockouts. I don't know the health of the squad. I don't know what we're going to look like when the pressure is on. But winning's contagious, innit? Anytime you win, it's lovely. So I'm just looking for any bit of a boost going into the rundown of this season, and the League Cup could provide that, Sean.
Yeah, see, for me, it's like I feel like I'm almost more confident than Arsenal fans that I talk to. Like I talk to Livs and I talk to like even you lot
100%.
from when we
Within
even when,
Birmingham.
yeah even when we've done your video, like even when we've done the videos filming before. But it's like I just feel like Arsenal. I'm more confident than Arsenal fans. I know that the pain of getting so close to certain things and not winning it in the past couple of years has been painful. But it's more so to under the Arteta reign for me is that I just feel like as if he's built such a good squad now in depth to where he can now attack. Whereas what we can't do, and as a lot of the other clubs can't do at the moment, is that they've reaped the rewards of their squads over the past like 7, 8 years, like City have, and now they're nowhere near what they used to be. Liverpool are a shadow of what they were from last year, and I didn't really think they were that great last year. But even though Arsenal haven't performed like entertainers in the league, they're not one of the greatest teams that have performed in the league for the last 10, 15 years, but they're in the position that they are the strongest team in the league. And to be honest, even in Europe, no one's competing like that and has the strength of the squad that Arsenal have. Like the players that you can replace with Odegaard not being there, you can bring in Eze. Eze's a top player. Has he performed yet for Arsenal? No, but he's still a top player, and you've got a lot of
Mm.
quality around that squad where they just it's the mentality and the football that Arteta's built into this team that has looked solid and is consistent for them and is making them win games. And for me, I just think that the league is wrapped up already. I feel like the EFL Cup game,
Really?
but yeah, I think the
Already?
league. I've been saying that the league is
No,
is,
there's
is
bare
over for.
football, Sean, man.
I know you think that, and I know a lot of fans are gonna like. A lot of Arsenal fans have seen what they've done in the past. That's why I mean, like they've seen their team bottle a lead of like 7, 8, 9 points, and they're like, oh well, it's not over till it's over. But for me, I just don't think the competition around Arsenal. It's not a City team that's gonna go 15 out of 15. It's not a City team that's gonna go 10 out of 10. Like they're not where they are. And their performance, they've still
Okay.
got tricky games. And for me personally, I just feel like Arsenal this year, don't be surprised if you could win a treble because I genuinely think that Arsenal have won the league. I feel like the EFL Cup could easily be theirs in their game. Obviously, you've still got a big game, even if it is one of the other two of Newcastle or City, but
Facts.
could easily very go through to a final at the FA Cup and literally the Champions League for me, as you've seen with the form of Arsenal in Champions League, home and away fixtures for Arsenal and the way that they manage games in two-legged games. I think it's very hard to beat them, and they was very unlucky last year to not win the Champions League. For me personally, I think they were ready, and I genuinely think who knows, you could even win four, and it would be crazy to think that you could win four
Making me
after you
dream,
haven't
Sean,
won
man.
trophy. I know I'm making you lot dream, and this is why I feel like people don't really want Chelsea fans on things anymore. Like, well, especially me because I'm giving praise to other teams, but that's because I'm very self-aware
It's never
of
praise. You're just
where other
calling it as
teams
it
are at.
is, in your
I'm just
opinion.
calling it as it is, and I'm the most realistic Chelsea fan out there. I'm not deluded. I'm not going to say Chelsea's great again and we're already back. I'm actually a realistic fan, and I can see what's there. And to think it's more so the competition. I know Arsenal fans might not think that they're the greatest, but Arsenal itself right now is better than most teams in world football, and the
Yeah, but
teams that
remember
you're playing.
PSG in the league phase last year, my boy. Like, they
I
weren't
know, I
really
know.
saying nothing in the league phase. They
Yeah,
went and
yeah,
won it. That's what I mean by once we're in the
yeah,
knockout
yeah,
stages, I need to see what we're on.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
think it
Knockout,
comes
yeah.
down to individual brilliance and them kind of things.
Yeah, knockout phases for you lot. I feel like obviously it could be anything. It's Champions League is anything in knockout stage phases when it's coming to big clubs. But I just feel like Arsenal over two legs can manage those games. I mean, League
I
Cup,
hear
I
it.
think it should be yours. Premier League, I think it's done. FA Cup is whoever you get in the draws and stuff like that. But obviously Champions League, I just feel like with your clean sheet records, like Kyra Almaty wasn't really a big game for you last game of the group stages, and you'd only conceded 2 goals up until then in the 7 games you played. And I just feel like it's hard to break down Arsenal defense. And as 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 weak of an attacking side as you are at the moment and finding it hard to find goals, I just feel like you'll be able to find the goals when you need to, and your defense is solid. So for me, I feel like Arsenal could go on and win a lot this year. What do you believe that you think you're going to win for the rest of the season? What do you think that genuinely? I know you said you take one bit of silverware, but what do you actually feel
Mm.
like personally, on your opinion? I know you don't want to be too confident and say things and get clicked. Then it's like, oh, you thought we were going to win everything. But genuinely, what do you personally think that you're going to end up at the end of the season with in terms of trophy silverware?
You-
Yeah.
No worries. Sean, to answer your question, Champions League, I don't know. I don't necessarily think we're going to win that. God, please make me wrong. I do think we're going to win the Prem. I think it's harder to fail. And like, the League Cups are a luck of the dice, in it. But I think we're going to win it. So Premier League Cup double
Okay.
minimum, in my opinion. But I want the
Okay.
champs. I'll trade everything right now for the champs, Sean.
I'm like that as well.